All right. So, hey, everybody. This your girl Tiffany here, live in effect. So, tonight, I decided to go live. All right. So, I'm going to be talking about STEM and also STEAM. So, we have STEM, but we also have STEAM. And many people don't know what that is. So, it's the same acronym. The only difference is the letter A. All right. So the A stands for arts. Now, why does art play the important role in STEM? I'm going to give you a definition of what art is, and then I'm going to go into detail. So I'm online, and the definition of art is a diverse range of cultural activities centered around works utilizing creative or imaginative talents, which are expected to evoke a worthwhile experience. Generally, through an expression of emotional power, conceptual ideas, technical proficiency, or beauty. Okay? There is no generally agreed definition of what constitutes art, and its interpretation has varied greatly throughout history and across cultures. All right. So I'm going to leave it right there. So basically, art is a form of expression. That's all it is. It's expressing one's ideal, one's imagination, one's creativities, and one emotion. So STEM would not be where it's at if it wasn't for art. You wouldn't have science. You definitely wouldn't have technology. You wouldn't have engineering, and you wouldn't have mathematics. Because all these things are constituted in art. Now remember, philosophy comes before science, technology, engineering, mathematics, right, and art. But see, there's a branch in philosophy, right, that deals with the concept of art. And that is aesthetics. And aesthetics deals with beauty, art, symbolism, etc. So art plays an important role when you're talking about STEM. And there will be no STEM without it. Now, you're not going to hear people talk much about it. You're not going to hear people bring up the concept of art. However, you cannot ignore the fact that it's part of the development process. In school, we learned about arts and crafts. We learn about arts and craft. Now, if you don't know what arts and craft is, let's go into that definition. All right. So, arts and crafts describe a wide variety of activities involving making things with one's own hands. Arts and craft is usually a hobby. Some craft art skills have been practiced since prehistoric times. Other are more recent invention. William Morris and John Ruskin and other promoted an arts and craft movement in the late 19th century, which popularized the phrase. Both children and adults enjoy arts and crafts. Children in school may learn skills such as woodworking, wood carving, sewing, and making things with all sorts of material. Many community centers and schools have evening or day classes and workshops where one can learn arts and craft skills. So, when you start off with arts and craft, right, that's the beginning of your skill setting. So all these different things that we see, such as computers, mobile device. Let me see, who is Brits? Okay, sorry about that. But all these things we have, like computers, mobile device, cell phones, right? Cars, houses, transmission, different math equations, fraction, numbers. All that deals with art. Methods. Right, different methodology. Yeah, different methodologies, such as qualitative, quantitative. All those are dealing with arts because you learn the art of research. You learn the different techniques and ways of going about dealing with research. So everything has art in it. Life itself is a form of art. What they say, life imitates art and art imitates life. Have you guys heard that phrase before? So life is a reflection of art, and art is a reflection of life. Although we live in reality, but at the same time, we are the creators of our own reality as well. Government systems based on creativity. That's man's ideal. There was no such thing as Democrat and Republican, and also states, governments. Those things came into existence through man's idea. So man created these things to have some type of system, to have some type of control. But all these things is a reflection of art, reflection of people's imagination, creativity, ideas. So it's very interesting to me that it's not brought up enough in the STEM program or in the STEM conversation. Because when we talk about STEM, we only talk about the four letters, but we don't talk about the art. And it's like every event that I go to, right? As far as my leisure time is concerned, every event I go to, I always see myself surrounded by art, whether it be music, dancing, visual art, paintings, culture, as far as cultural diversity is concerned, I see art. And art is going to always be here. Arts is going to always be the main principle next to philosophy. So, get back to the point that I'm making. Yeah, art plays its important role. It plays a very important role in just in life in general. You know, it's funny. I never thought about that as much. I never looked deep into it. But now that I think about it, it pretty much shows the correlation of all things in life. There's the correlation. But I just want to come on here and talk to you guys. And I appreciate you all listening. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you like, follow this video, and also follow my YouTube channel, which is Tiffany89. So I will keep you guys posted. Until next time, peace and power and elevation. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you.